What's up, Sportman family? It's your boy Sportman, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Core Century Stampede, but also just in general, the 25th anniversary stamp. And, I want to talk about this a little bit because I feel like it needs to be said, and I feel like a lot of people are not really highlighting this, but also just bringing this to the attention of really the community, because I'm a little worried on the fact that we are buying out a lot of stuff from Bonanza, buying out a lot of Stampede stuff, and given that Stampede is lacking in a lot of areas, I don't even want to start there because I know this video will go askew. I'm a little worried the fact that a lot of the Core Century Secret Rares will end up being Starlight Rares. And I'm also scared the fact that when we have the 30th anniversary, that we're going to see all these same cards at the 30th anniversary as well. Now, I don't think people are taking that into account, and these purchases and these high price points of a lot of these cards in the market, especially the QCRs, are not justified and probably won't be justified in the next 2 or 3 years. Now, not to say hey, Core Century is not cool, the 25th anniversary stamp is not cool. I think it's a really cool aspect. I think adding a stamp to a card gives it that extra nice touch. Don't like the aspect of the Starlight and Core Century Secret looking too similar, but also that the QCR also has kind of a dirtier look to me, personally, because you really can't see the name on the card. But I digress a little bit there, because yes, it's the first iteration of a stamp, of a 25th anniversary stamp versus a 30th one, but it doesn't really make the difference where I feel like we're going to get that same rarity again, but as a 30th anniversary stamp. 30th anniversary Core Century Secret Rare, because I think that's going to come, and we're going to see a lot of those same rarity collection cards that we've been seeing, a lot of the cards we saw from other sets. And yes, they're not reprinting a Quarter Century Secret Rare, but we're going to see that same Quarter Century Secret Rare. It's not going to be called a Quarter Century Secret Rare, but we're going to see that same stamp, that 30th, the 20th stamp on a 30th stamp on these cards. And that is where I feel like I'm going to have the issue, because I can see it happening, especially the Starlight Rares as well. We're going to see a lot of reuse of a lot of cards, right? We're probably going to see another rarity collection. I don't know what they call it, but it's probably going to be with Starlight Rares. That's another thing to be aware of. I feel like if we look at the marketing, the way that Konami is setting this up to be, they're setting it up to be as though the rarity collections are not ending, and that Starlights will be taking its place, and we'll have rarity collection, but just with Starlights. And then the prices that we've seen with Bonanza and Stampede, they're going to go down a lot, right? Rarity collection one might go down a lot too, and it will be very sad if that is the direction of where we're going. And again, it probably will be that direction, because they're going to feed off a lot of these things, of these rarities. They're going to try. And that's the whole point. They don't care if they have to reprint a card 10 gazillion times. They care about if you're going to feed into that set because of that shiny card, and you probably will. And that's why I do want to warn some people as well. And obviously cards will go up and go down, and we'll have my market watches on the channel of cards you should be buying, whatever, sure, because the valuation in the year or so should go up for those cards. But given long-term value, given what is probably going to happen in the next couple of years, it probably will hurt the market of the Quarter Century Secret Rare, as we've seen the Starlight Rares get hurt from the Quarter Century Secret Rares that were printed, right? It's just going to be in reverse now. So that is something to be really aware of as you're moving forward, right? We do have Starlight Rares coming back. It is confirmed. For those that are not aware of this, Starlight Rares are returning. And they're returning in the same fashion as QCRs, meaning there'll be 25 cards available as Starlight Rares. They know what they're doing. The marketing is there. They understand how to make a buck, and they will capitalize on every which way they can on this. Now listen, it's a smart move. It's a smart move. I will say, if they do go that route, I give them credit, because it will be a 100 IQ move for sure. It's an expected move, because I see it happening. but it's a smart move. This is why it is a very tough time to be a collector in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think it's a very smart decision to collect really any cards. At least current day cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're collecting first editions from back in the past, sure, those cards aren't going to go down. They're first edition, they're really old cards, sure. But current day cards, everybody, they're just not worth the risk. They don't hold up in value as they used to, because, and it's no fault of Konami. And I do want to preface this by saying it's not their fault at all. They're just feeding into what's working, right? You can't blame a company for feeding to gain on an opportunity to print something that people are going to want. I can't fault them for that. However, I will warn the community and warn collectors that this is not the market to collect. Collect other card games, sure. You want to collect Pokemon? It's a great game to collect. They're not going to reprint stuff like that in Pokemon. Star Wars Unlimited? Yeah, go for it. I'm being a little thing because I've gotten to Star Wars Limited. My brain's all Star Wars Limited right now. I'm just having so much fun time playing that game, by the way. But I digress. I'm not a fan of what they're doing to the collector market, but at the same time, you have to understand, like, they have to do what's working for them marketing wise and put out a set that's going to succeed and grab a lot of players' attention. So we can only fault them for so much. So, yeah, man. I just want everyone to be aware of these things. I didn't want to make this like a long video. I just wanted to just put it out there because I feel like it needs to be said. And a lot of people need to just understand that as well. Because I don't want you spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on these QCRs from Bonanza, Stampede, Rare Collection 1, all these sets, and they're just going to reprint them as another rarity, very similar rarity in Starlight Rares, and probably the 30th anniversary as well. And even if we don't get a rarity collection for the Starlight Rares, what is stopping them from doing it for the 30th anniversary? They'll probably bring it back, right? Maybe in a different name, different whatever it is, but they'll bring it back. They'll definitely do that. And don't think they won't do the 30th anniversary. They're going to do the 30th anniversary, everybody. And I will say that one thing to note as well, what they're doing here with these stamps, that is definitely unique. That could be something to look at towards the future, even though it's an ultra rare. We'll see what happens with that. That should be interesting. I'm very interested in seeing how that plays out. And if they'll make that into something else in the future, meaning they'll see the emblem, but now it's like a Starlight Rare emblem card. They could go that route as well. There's a lot of different routes Konami can go. They set themselves up really, really well marketing-wise with a lot of these rarities to kind of reprint them in other rarities with that emblem attached, right? So they're not stupid what they're doing. They understand on how they can gain advantage on a lot of the community. But again, you can't blame them. As much as I probably want to blame them, you can't blame them. They're making a smart move on their part. But just be aware as you're moving forward, buying into these sets, buying massive amounts of cards from these sets at a very high price tag. But that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think this is where Konami is going to go? I really do think it is. It would be, and honestly, and I say this with all due respect, I think it would be a very dumb move if they didn't go that route. And I really don't want them to, because I want collectors to enjoy what they've collected and have something special. But it would be a very dumb move if they didn't go that route either. So I do see it happening, and we'll see, man. We'll see. Should be an interesting year with QCRs ending and Starlighters returning. It should be interesting next few years, I should say. The game is in an interesting position where players are playing older formats. There's a lot of things going on with that as well. We'll make other videos, obviously, on those things. But Interesting stuff. But that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment, and peace out, YouTube.